Hey guys, it's 10 Types, and today I want to be talking about one of my favorite decks, and a deck that seems to be doing pretty well, and that is Decidueye from Darkness Ablaze. It has the Deep Force Camera ability, so it's immune to Vs, which is really good. It has a pretty solid attack to dish out damage while it's walling. It's paired with Beedrill now from Chilling Reign, and this is really good for its persisting attack, instantly carrying any Pokemon with a special energy. So it's really good against Mew VMAX, and also good against some of the Single Strike and Rapid Strike decks. And overall, just a really solid card and a nice addition to the deck. This is my list. I believe I saw it on Luminlist, and I made some modifications to make it, my opinion, like flow a bit better and just work smoother overall. But you just see a 4-0-3 Decidueye because that's not your main attacker, so you don't necessarily need a full line of that. And then you just have a 3-2 Beedrill next to that. So pretty decent lines of the two attackers, not like completely buffed out. You could increase more if you feel like that's what you want, but I feel like just having the two Beedrills, you probably won't need more than that. Jet Spear, dealing 110 for one grass, and then discarding an energy is pretty good, but not always necessary. And honestly, if you're using that, you're probably not winning because you're not dealing massive damage, and you're also not walling attack. So it's not the best, but you have the Decidueye to wall off for most decks and Beedrill when it's needed. And then you also have the pretty standard Inteleon line. You have like a 4/4 Salvatore out, and then one of each Inteleon to increase the damage or complete like the search so you can hit stuff more consistently. I also have 4 Quick Ball on this list and just 2 Capture Energy because the Capture Energies can't fulfill Beedrill's attack cost, so I'm leaning more heavily into Quick Ball. Everything else here is pretty standard. Obviously, 4 Rare Candy, 2 Marnie, 3 Research. We have a Raihan to stream attacks, but we play 6 basic grass and an energy search, so it's pretty easy to get that online. And that's really nice. Also 2 Turfield because we play a higher count of grass evolutions. I might drop that down some. I don't love it, but overall, I feel like the deck is really solid. The 2 boss for carrying what you want when you want is really good as well. And the rod in case our attackers go down. So I'm excited to get into some games with this deck. Hopefully the deck works. It has a tendency sometimes to brick, but one thing to note is that the Beedrill we play, or sorry, the Weedle we play, which is from, I believe, Champion's Path, has a call for family attack, which is really nice for just one colorless. So usually, even if we go second, we can set up. And it looks like we will be going second this game, but I wonder what we're going to be playing against. Hopefully it's something pretty interesting. We see we have a pretty good start as well, and we're going second, so I'll start the Sobble. That's usually pretty solid to start. And hopefully our opponent's playing a pretty good matchup here. Also, the Sobble doesn't give him any extra information. We see we're both starting Sobble, so that's an okay sign for this deck. Inteleon engines can be difficult to deal with. Looks like it might be Suicune, Ludicolo, could be like Ice Rider, Calyrex VMAX, but we just see the pass on their part, so that's really good for us. Oh, and a really good top deck of Professor's Research as well. So I'll play the Weedle in case I need it. Maybe I should have held back on it, but I don't hate playing it. You can check prices here. So definitely want another Sobble out. We don't need to keep calling. 2 Sobble should be enough, and if the active dies, it's not the end of the world. Our prizes aren't that bad, doesn't look like. We prize like a boss. Not too much. Solo Research, stuff like that. But overall, we're in a really solid spot. We just want to get off our Decidueye and start swinging with that. We have to get rid of 2 incense, but we should be fine. Yeah, this hand's really solid. I'll probably quick ball away this capture energy because realistically, we don't want to attach another capture next turn. So that's fine. You won't grab another Sobble, so we can get our engine going as strong as possible, as early as possible. Hopefully, don't get mined here. That usually happens, but hopefully not this time. And if we don't, we can just start swinging with the Decidueye. Or we could even start swinging in with Beedrill if that's what the play is. Though I don't think so because unless it's like Urshifu, it could be Urshifu Melanie, but assuming it's not that, they probably won't attack with that Pokemon with its special energy, especially now that they see we have the Weedle in play. But they very well may go for the Keep Calling this turn, or they may go for a Drizzile. I'm expecting one of those two, but I'm wondering what deck they're playing right here. And they're taking their time in the level ball, probably checking their prize cards. And I imagine getting, as I said, a Sobble or a Drizzile. Okay, so this is they get a Snorunt, which is, so they're playing some, obviously, water deck, but it might be, okay, we do get Marnie, unfortunately, here, but it shouldn't be the end of the world. Our board state's really solid. So it might be Ice Rider. It could even be Greninja V Union. Probably not, though. It's probably Ice Rider. Yes. Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. We see the capture energy on the Ice Rider, which is actually really good because we can go in for the KO with our copy of the Beedrill, which is really nice. And are we going to see like a Keep Calling here? That's what I'd expect. I'm surprised they got out the Sobble, but I guess it doesn't really matter that much if they're going to fill their bench up with it anyway. We get a pretty mediocre top deck there. But we do get to shuffle up our deck, so that's nice. I'm gonna get another Rowlet here because honestly, I don't need like 3 or 4 Rowlets in this game. If that happens, I mean, it's good, I guess, but I probably won't. So I can grab myself a Scoop Up Net, which is really nice with this engine, and start swinging in with that Decidueye. Keep in mind this is our last Scoop Up Net, but it should be fine. Send up the Rowlet, and obviously Rare Candy into that. And I'm going to play the Drizzile just so I can have access to Inteleon next turn, and I'll also get an Evo Incense, so I can get that Chilling Reign Inteleon, which isn't prize, which is super nice. We could Ordinary Rod here and get back that Chilling Reign Inteleon, but I don't think that's necessary at the moment. Yeah, so we'll just go for the Splitting Arrow and soften up these Sobbles, because honestly the Sobbles are by far the scariest part, because the Ice Rider is not going to get to us unless they play something like a Phoebe. That definitely would be unfortunate, but I don't think so. And I believe our Raihan's in deck, so if they do play a Phoebe, which actually they wouldn't be able to KO us because they probably wouldn't have the energy. I suppose they do have the Frostlass, so they could attach Frostlass and then like Phoebe or something, VMAX Phoebe. But I don't think that's happening. So I'm gonna Crobat here, maybe another Ice Rider or a Crobat. No, so they're going for the Snorunt, which is, I guess, makes sense. They're gonna try to set up that Inteleon from Sword and Shield. But the question is, what's in their hand? And they have a research, so they're in an okay spot, but not a great spot, because they'll probably not be able to attack this turn. They'll certainly not take a KO unless they have like Escape Rope. So this is the power of the deck. You just see they're not really able to do anything right now. Later on, they'll be able to attack with the Inteleons and stuff like that. But by then, I'll have taken a bunch of prizes. I'm already up by 1. So even going second, we could have used Keep Calling, or we could have used Call for Family. But even then, we were just able to play our supporter and get ourselves like a really solid bench, which is why I really enjoy the deck. It feels like a stage 2 deck, because you have the rare candies, you have different lines as well, which is really nice, like evolution lines, and also different routes to victory in each matchup. Like we have Decidueye here. We could also go with Beedrill, which might be what we're gonna do. That's ideally what I do. Yeah, we still have the energy search, so the Beedrill line play should work. We didn't go for another weapon ball, so they're just, I think, chaining Drizzles, because once the Drizzles go down, they're not in a particularly good spot. So that's exactly what I'm going to be targeting down here as well. And yeah, we see them attach the water, so they can attach with the Sword and Shield Inteleon, presumably, next turn, which does, if you don't remember, it does 120 to the active and the 20 snipe to the bench. But they don't have rare candy, obviously, so they're not going to be able to get into that quick enough. And it looks like they're not down too many resources, but a little bit of search. So we just see the pass because they don't really have any other options, and a really solid top deck there as well. So at this point, we can just grab ourselves a boss's orders with the Drizzile, and we have, I think we have both bosses now. We're down, where is one prized? Yeah, one's prized. Um, but that's fine. We'll either pull it off the prizes here or just be able to keep swinging and just doing whatever we need to do. Unfortunately, we missed the energy this turn. I could have like pushed down myself an energy search or something, but that's not really necessary. So just bosses always here and place the damage counter by quick shooting this Drizzile. Keep in mind that they do have the option of playing like Raihan here to accelerate the energy. Or also the option of Frostlass, but I think we'll be okay. You see a turf field, so that's cool because now we can get our Beedrill into play easier, which is nice. We don't play the Dartrix or the Kakana, so that's a little unfortunate because we can't slowly build up something while we're just walling, but generally when you're in a position where you're just walling off your opponent like the whole game, you're probably fine. And we see they're going in with that Chilling Rain Inteleon. They didn't have access to the Sword and Shield one, which is really good for us because they're going to hit probably 70 damage this turn. And they might not even play the Sword and Shield Inteleon. I'm guessing they do, but they might not, and they might have just not had it in their hand either. But we'll probably see them, I believe, honestly, I don't remember how much HP Frostlass has, so I'm not sure if it's level ball searchable. I don't think it is. I think it might have 110, but I could be wrong. It's either 110 and 90. There's really a big difference of whether or not you can search it with level ball, but I'm probably gonna get that guy down. And they're also evolving their Drizzles, and they really have to, because if they don't, they're just gonna die. Because we're just applying a bunch of pressure with the bench sniping, which is really good, and it hits great numbers on the Inteleon engine, because the 90 is just enough to KO these Pokemon like Drizzile, also in this case Frostlass, Flaffy, so great number to hit. And then the 20 to the bench is just nice to sprinkle it around so you can take some extra prizes. So yeah, the Frostlass does have 90 HP and actually does 90 for 2, which is really substantial. But luckily we're not getting hit by that. So if they had done that though, that could have been pretty scary. They had hit us for 90, quick shooting for 110, and the next turn quick shooting twice. They would have gotten the KO in the Decidueye. They very well may still get the KO in the Decidueye, but it should be okay. So because at the end of the day, they still have 6 prizes to take. They can technically boss up all the other targets, but that's usually fine. It used to be that Decidueye could like barely bench any Pokemon, but now you want to bench a ton of stuff and just get as much damage on the board as quickly as possible. The top deck research, which honestly isn't very good, but we'll probably just go for a quick shooting play here. Start targeting down. They actually have 4 more single prizes in play, so you don't even need to go after this Ice Rider. And we do just enough active to KO it. We'll go after this Snorunt as well. And just work on taking away all their options. They probably will go in with a scoop up net play, taking away our option of being able to take out just 6 single prizers. But if they don't, we're in a really great spot. And they're not going to go in with the Frostlass, it looks like. So our Decidueye is probably going to live another turn, which is really insane. I'm guessing a Bossors on that Inteleon is what we're going to see. Yeah, and that's exactly it. We can ride to the High King here, I believe, for 160 because we have a full bench, so it's a little unfortunate, but it's honestly overall fine. We're probably going to Ordinary Rod back those different cards. Probably both Inteleons, so we can keep that going. And we see them get another Ice Rider, which is probably fine. We don't really mind too much. So yeah, just a ride of the High King. If we had bosses orders, we'd be very close to winning the game, honestly. But that's unfortunately in our prize cards. So yeah, it just is what it is. We can just Sabo, which is cool. We can Ordinary Rod back. Probably the 2 Inteleons. Because we only play 1 of each, which is a little unfortunate. But it's usually fine. So we'll go and grab one of them. Grab the Chilling Reign Italian to start taking some more prizes, I imagine. Although actually probably the better play here is to grab that other Italian, get our board state just in a better position. Definitely want to search for a couple of cards. Probably the rare candy. We can even grab ourselves 2 rare candies and get both Beedrill. Actually, no, I missed a route here. We actually have game this turn. We can take out the Ice Rider with the Beedrill. So yeah, this is really good. We can just go Turf Field, grab that Beedrill, energy search, get ourselves that energy, attach that rare candy, and then go in for the persisting for game, which is really insane. Treat right here. And there, take the game with persisting, which is really good even against decks that play just one capture energy or something, because we can take KOs, something they may not be expecting in that case, probably, or just set up really powerful positions where we have answers to any option they want to throw at us. They can either play the capture energy, set up better, but just give up some more prizes or die easier, or they could also have the option of not setting up as well, and at that point, they're obviously going to struggle more, and they won't be able to attach that energy that they might need to attack, or they can't attach that energy to set up and get like their Italian engine going. So it's really powerful. We're gonna hop into another game here. Hopefully, take another win because the deck's really strong. Assuming it sets up, as I said. If it doesn't set up, or if your opponent has some like weird deck that can somehow hit through you and also not use special energy, things can go badly. But overall, the deck's really solid. You see our opponent calling the coin flip here, and they win again. But hopefully, we have a good opening hand. I'm assuming they're going to choose to go first anyway. But it should be fine, assuming we can get off like a reasonable start, which is pretty much any starter. The Rowlet's a good starter because that's our main attacker, but then the Weedle also has a call for family attack, and the Sabo obviously has keep calling. So yeah, I mean, go for the Weedle start here, I imagine. The call for family is looking pretty good here because our opening hand's not great by any means. Receiver against single strike, which is really good for us. Not so great with the Decidueyes because they can hit through us with the Urshifu VMAX. This looks like the Battle via P-Pass build. Honestly, I have not looked too much into this deck, but it should be fine. They very well may take out a Rowlet, but it's probably fine. So we just need to Weedle to survive the turn, and we probably win. And that's really good. And we top deck a Weedle, which is really good. You can EFO Incense. Sorry for the lag here. Just take a look at our prizes. We prized one of our Inteleons, the Sword and Shield Inteleon. Also, don't have one of our Grass Energies. Let's see, the candy and that. I think we're missing a. That might be about it. Yeah, it's usually a good idea to check your prizes. Oh, we prized the Sutra as well, so that's fine. But checking your prizes is actually really good because well, I imagine other people have told you this, but just knowing what resources you don't have access to can really determine whether or not you win or lose the game. Because if you go for something that you don't have, it's obviously not going to go too well. And if you're like planning on it a ton and it's all of a sudden not there, you're kind of screwed, honestly. But usually it's fine. The capture energy. Luckily, we didn't prize any of the Weedles, but I got myself a Sobble. Call for family. I'll get myself, I guess, another Sobble in case we need to go chain a bunch of stuff together. I don't mind getting out another Weedle though. Weedles are like definitely the best attacker here. So I think I'll go for that because it's going to be a little harder to find later on. But this hand's really solid. We can definitely get the response KO. Assuming they just probably take out the Sweetle and active. We could even take out like something else. They could take out the Rowlet. That's completely fine. But the Umbra matchup used to be really difficult because they could like gust up your Pokemon and just take out your Rowlets, and then they could go in with their Urshifu's or even with their Houndooms and start like cutting through all of your different Decidueyes. And we see they play obviously the Urshifu, the Houndoom, and they play the more Pico as well, dealing more damage for each damage counter on it. But that's probably fine because it's not going to end up with a lot of HP here. So you can just hit it with quick shooting or something, or with Decidueye snipe, and it just dies. So really interesting tech card that they play here. Looks like they're going to go in with the Houndoom, which is really interesting. Certainly not what I was expecting, but a very solid play nonetheless. And they do have another energy on the more Pico as well. That's probably fine, but we get a response KO here. I'm thinking I don't believe we prized Raihan, so I think we go in with Raihan. I'm trying to think. If we prize Raihan, I'm gonna feel like a massive idiot here, but I'm pretty sure we didn't, so we can just go for that. We don't have a basic energy in the discard, which kind of sucks, but yeah, I'll go in with the Beedrill this turn. That's fine. Yes, which is pretty cool. So I'm just gonna grab myself that rare candy.